So this video is a bit of an extension of the last one, and I'm going to cover two concepts here at the same time. And the first one is the emotional lens, and the second is the love switch. And the love switch is a concept that I got from Alison Armstrong's seminar called Understanding Women, Unlocking the Mystery, something like that. And it's available on audiobook, and everyone that is part of this group is part of this community. Anyone that I start coaching one-on-one, I suggest to all of them that go onto Audible and download the book, right? Listen to it. So it's called Understanding Women by Alison Armstrong. And the love switch is an idea that women can move in and out of the state of love very quickly. And look, this can feel very confusing. It can feel very traumatic to men. But I'll explain how this works for men first, right? And then I'll explain for women, and hopefully you get a better understanding. So when men fall in love, when they're first dating, when they first meet her, or when you guys get engaged, right, your love switch is flicked on. And that love switch will basically just stay on until something happens, whether you're betrayed in some way or things go horribly wrong in the relationship repeatedly after a very long time. Right? After there's enormous amounts of pain within the relationship, your love switch flicks off. And once it's off, it doesn't turn back on. And that's what the love switch is like for guys, right? It's either on or off. That is it. And for women, it's very, very different, right? Women can fall in love with you and the love switch is on. They can be deeply head over heels for you in one moment, where she feels like, hey, you're the best guy she's ever been with. You're my everything. I love you so much. And then they notice that you left a sock in the lounge room and the love switch flicks off. And look, even in a healthy relationship, the love switch might flick on and off 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a day. And when that love switch is flicked off, they're not actively feeling love towards you. Right? It doesn't mean that they don't have a deep abiding love for you, but what it means is that in that moment, right, in that moment, they don't feel love towards you. And I know that this is very hard for guys to understand, because we can be in the middle of a major fight with our wives, right? We can be absolutely furious, we can be angry. But if somebody was to break through the door, or if somebody was to say the wrong thing to her, right, we'd happily go and lay down our lives for her, right? It's a very different process for women. When the love switch is flicked off, they will quite literally let you get eaten by, a saber-toothed tiger, and she'll stand there and just watch. Right. And I'm obviously exaggerating this, right? But you can see this within the female relationships too. Right. Let's say that there's a group of friends, and one of the group of friends suddenly rats on one of the girls, or does something to betray her. You'll notice that when she does, the rest of the group they'll all turn on her. They'll share her secrets, they'll say horrible things about her, and then you'll notice a few months later, a few weeks later, that they're all part of the same group again and everything's okay. And that's kind of how women are with the love switch. When it's off, they're not feeling that love. Part of what makes this so hard is that if you say something like, oh, I didn't like the dinner, she's going to interpret it as, oh, his love switch is flicked off. And that means that he won't protect me, that I'm not safe. And women don't realize that we don't have that kind of flicking on and off like they do, right? And the big takeaway here is that not to take her so seriously when her love switch is off. When she says things like, this will never work, or I've never been happy, or, it feels permanent. But if you do something small, if you make her laugh, if you spin her around, if you lick her on the face or something, right, you can flip it all around. And all of those intense things that she was saying, it'll all evaporate. So when the love switch is off, don't bring up major conversations. Don't ask if you can go on a road trip with the boys, right? Don't try and resolve anything serious. Your only job at this place is to reconnect her to her body, reconnect her to her senses, her joy, right? And when the love switch flicks back on, everything else gets easier. Now I'm going to move on to the emotional lens, right? And this is the idea of whatever mood she's in is the lens that she sees her reality through, right? If she's feeling disconnected from you, then her view is that the relationship has always been disconnected. If she's feeling unsupported, then her reality is that you've never ever helped her, right? You've never cared. And trying to convince her otherwise, it's not going to work, right? You can list every single loving moment of the past, every single date night, every time you made her tea, every time you done the chores. Bro, she can't see any of them because she's wearing that emotional lens of disconnection, right? And the only way to shift her perspective is to shift her feelings. When she feels connected to you again, she'll look at you, she'll look at your relationship and suddenly remember all the good things. She'll see all the potential again. And everything changes because the lens has now changed. So rather than trying to debate or defend yourself, ask, how can I get her to feel safe again? How can I get her to laugh? How can I drop her back into her senses? Right? A bath, a walk, maybe her favorite wine, or taking the kids out so she can have some time alone. Right? You know her better than I do. Right? Whatever it is that she needs, give it to her. And when she's back into that connected place, she'll act like none of the chaos even happened. And this is not because she's manipulative, but because the emotional lens has changed. Right? So the bottom line is that when she's speaking through disconnection, anger, sadness, recognize that she's not speaking from truth. She's speaking from her current emotional state. So when she's in that place, be the lighthouse. Stay grounded. Don't get sucked into her storm. Don't get pulled in by her words. Help her shift that lens and then watch what happens next.